That's right. Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And PerGron.
And it's time yet again to explore the vast catalog and find out what's a must or a bust on Disney Plus. Do you like that dramatic sound effect or can you
I
even hear it?
I couldn't hear it. I was so afraid that you were like waiting for me to say something.
Oh, no.
And I'm like, I don't know the script.
A bust or a must. Yeah, I'm literally just tapping
Ah.
my vape card against my tea bottle.
Uh,
What the fuck am I doing? Anyways,
it's
okay.
strange times, folks. Thanks
So,
for pausing your TikTok doom scroll on the last day to be here with us.
dude, I never got on the ground floor of TikTok. I'm gonna be totally fine.
Yeah, I'm not doing okay.
I'm sorry. I
Yep.
my I mean, I've talked about this before, but like my attention span is literally the opposite of TikTok.
Ah,
I literally need fucking long form videos. I
you.
cannot deal with like okay, okay, folks, first of all, I'm gonna go on some tangents here because I'm just in that kind of mood, right?
Yeah, this is
Um,
gonna be an interesting one.
but we're here to talk about Skeleton Crew, the season
Yeah.
finale, the real good guys. But because no one apparently gives a shit about this show, frankly, honestly, even
Yep.
though it's really good and people should be watching it more.
Yeah.
Genuinely my favorite piece of Disney Star Wars media, hands down, I think. But before we do that, can we just rant really quick about how Chris Stuckman will do 6-minute video? This is just speaking to attention spans, right? You'll do 6-minute videos, and literally 2 of those minutes will be a fucking ad read. I'm like, he is like the worst when it comes to that shit, dude.
Yeah, I haven't watched a Stuckman in a minute. I watched his like 10 or his favorite movies of the year just because I like those lists.
Mhm.
But I don't watch his reviews because it's like, dude, you're not saying anything.
The only time I'll watch a review of his is if it's like a movie that's not really getting a ton of attention elsewhere. You know what I mean?
That's fair, yeah.
Yeah, like I can't think of an example like off the top of my head, but like obviously I'm not going to go to him for like the latest franchise takes. That's Jeremy John's job to shill for.
Right.
Shots fucking fired. I'm sorry. God, I'm just in a fucking mood tonight. I don't know why.
That's okay. We're the only movie channel that fucking counts.
Well,
Fuck
we're
those.
the only award show that
We
counts.
are. We're just taking YouTube by storm. We're declaring it.
6 whole votes in the best cinematography category all day.
Yup. I
6.
think it's up to 7 now.
Oh,
I,
wow.
I think
Amazing.
last I checked, we were at 7.
It took literally like 3 hours to get past one vote. I'm like, oh my god, is this literally the end, or am I never going to get another vote on one of these polls?
Oh no, that's okay. I'll declare the winners.
Well, yeah, because I know you're going to be voting in all of them, so
Right.
you at least have your vote.
Yep.
All right. You know, the shitty thing is that I can't vote
Oh no,
because I don't have access to vote in the polls because I'm the one
because you're
creating
the one
them.
hosting the poll.
You know what? Should I just give an extra point?
Yeah, or just like I don't know, make an account just for voting or something. I don't know, or
Yeah.
just give your extra point to whatever to your
Yeah, I
pick.
don't think people are going to care that much. I don't think people are going to like dig into the note. Like, wait a minute.
Nah, and we just if we say it on air, hey, this is Tiki's vote. Add one to Tiki's pick.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah,
Anyways, Jesus
yeah.
Christ, we are so off
Skeleton
topic.
Crew.
I honestly, I'm kind of rambling because I really like this show. I really like this episode. I'm gonna kind of side with John Campea here, who had a similar take with this episode. I don't necessarily think this is like a great season finale per se. They
Hmm.
did a couple things that I'm not crazy about. What do you think?
Yeah, I thought overall it stuck the landing, but I could have used an epilogue.
Mhm.
I definitely think like an epilogue, even if it doesn't explore that much, because I think they're setting it for a season 2. That's kind of how it felt. But like a little epilogue of where we are now, I think would have really benefited it. Um,
I like some ambiguity in the ending, and I like an ending that's kind of just like leaves you on a powerful image, and I think this ending kind of does that. But like, yeah, like I feel like there was so much, and I agree. Like we're definitely gonna get a. I mean, I hope we're gonna get a season
we
2.
fucking better. You fuckers better watch this show. I'm
But
talking. This is
because
the
like,
royal fuckers, by the way. Every fucker out there, you better watch the show. It's all out now. You have no excuse.
yeah, because I mean, I don't know. I just kind of feel like at this point, season 2, if they do a season 2, is going to be it's going to be a different flavor. But I'm kind of here for it, right? It's going to kind of be more like less Goonies and more like, I don't know, like fucking like, what would you like? What kind of show is like you have to like Succession or something?
Yeah,
You know?
just go the Goonies to Succession pipeline.
No, but I'm just saying, like it's going to be like much more like political intrigue. Like, obviously they're setting season 2 up to be, if they do have the season 2, to have kind of like the fallout of at Adam, you know, and like where does that civilization go from here, which I'm sure we'll talk about. But obviously the fallout, like, okay, let's just jump into it with the episode proper. I thought the lightsaber fake out was kind of cheeky. I didn't really like it, didn't terribly bother me, but I kind of feel it got the pacing of the episode off to a little bit of a weird start, you know what I mean? Where I was all prepped up to see an action scene and we didn't get it right away. I don't know.
Right.
Just kind of like it's fun. You know, it's a fun reversal of expectations, but like also I don't know. I don't buy that Jod would like ignite the lightsaber as a sign of like, hey, look, I'm a jolly good guy. I'm going to ignite the lightsaber as like a show of how good of a guy I am. Like,
Right.
no, I get that he's doing it to intimidate the kids. I just don't understand how that's going to put the parents at ease. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Maybe like hey, I'm a Jedi. We're cool.
Like, right. Okay, speaking of the parents, I mean, fucking like the the two moms, which, you know, I'm sure that goddamn
Woke garbage. Disney ruined Star Wars. Literally crushed my childhood like a vice grip.
But they're just off screen, even though KB is probably like she's definitely got like a big role to play in the episode. They don't really factor in. We don't really see Neil's family.
No.
But we do have Farah, and then I want to say Wendell, right?
Yeah, it's Wendell.
Which I think is fun. I think it's funny that dude has like the most normal ass Star Wars name.
I love
not even really spelled weird.
No, I've said it before. I love Star Wars names because you'll get shit like fucking Salacious Crumb in the same universe that you get Wendell.
Right.
And they both just fit. Nobody complains about it. When the only time I hear people complain about the names in Star Wars is when they're not just either super wacky or super normal. Like, I still don't like Grogu. Grogu still doesn't sit well with me because it's neither. It's not wacky and dumb. It's not fucking Cad Bane, which is a dumb name but sounds kind of cool.
Right.
Or Boba Fett. Boba is a dumb fucking name. It's named after fucking tapioca. Okay, but yeah, I like Wendell because it's that right level of like Luke, like just Luke as the main character. Like,
or
it's
like
just
Dexter Jetster.
Dexter Jetster is the perfect Star Wars name. There is no Star Wars name better than Dexter Jetster.
I honestly think the funniest Star Wars name to come out of this show is fucking just Kim, but spelled like the most weird way you
K'_HYMM.
Oh god,
that shit's beautiful.
I'm convinced that KB is a reference to KB Toys.
It probably is.
But then you also have like Fern. Like that's a normal ass
Yeah,
name
it's
for
a
the most
normal
part.
name. Neil, just spelled weird.
Right. Yeah. You know what I associate Wendell with?
The Country Bears.
No, that I should associate that. Did you know that Wendell is the name of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch mascot, the baker guy?
Is it really?
Yes,
I did
yes.
not know that.
Well, there you go. Fun
I
fact.
watched Unfrosted too.
Yeah.
I should know.
I don't think they've used him on the boxes for fucking years. But
Yeah.
yeah. And he's also a very mid Survivor winner.
Oh, not okay. Like a guy named Wendell, not the
Yes.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch
No,
guy.
no, PerGron. They hosted Survivor cereal mascots.
Imagine that would be a really good like maybe not a season and like an SNL skit.
Right. Now I have to draft that cast. Thanks.
Stay tuned for the Drafting the Cereal Mascot Survivor
You fucking
podcast.
joke. You fucking joke. I am so like it would be like cereal mascots versus fast food mascots.
I feel like Ronald McDonald would kill somebody. Like just straight up murder.
I think Sonny the Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs bird, he would be kind of a liability.
Oh, he'd be kicked off the show so quickly.
Right.
He'd be like that one who was like transphobic or whatever. Or homophobic. The guy who got like kicked off without even getting voted.
Are you talking about Big Brother?
No, it was Survivor.
Survivor. Oh, okay. Yeah.
He like outed somebody.
Yes, you're talking about Jeff Varner.
Yeah. I feel like that's what the Cocoa Puffs guy is. I feel like the Cocoa Puffs guy would out Tony the Tiger.
Oh,
Even
God.
though we all know Tony the Tiger's gay. That's just a fact. I'm sorry. If you didn't know that, I'm sorry. He is. Just look at him.
Wow. This is honestly my favorite fucking Skeleton Crew podcast.
Who needs Skeleton Crew?
Okay, so I think Wendell actually, out of all the parents, he really shines.
Mm-hmm.
Like
I love when he's on the bike.
Yes, exactly. That's so fucking fun.
There's a movie where the dad joins. What's the movie I'm thinking of?
Is it a recent one?
I have no idea. I'm just thinking of a movie where like the dad joins the adventure at the end.
You're gonna have to be more specific.
Yep. I could be making up a movie in my head too. That's very possible. I'm getting no images. I'm just thinking that was familiar. But yeah, I like that he got on the bikes and they went on a little adventure. I like that he got the little greaser kid's bike too.
Yeah.
Didn't show anything. Like that kid was such a non-part of this show.
Right. Honestly, as much as I like the actress, especially for Banshees of Inisherin, I think Farrah, by and large, just kind of came off as like Diet Coke Maud Mothma.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like she's got that same sort of vibe, just not nearly as well developed as an actual character.
Yeah, she's about as effective as her as a leader.
Right.
Maud
Yeah.
Mothma was a great organizer, but God, was she a terrible leader.
Did you know that Dragon, like, that's the reason why Dragon is lukewarm on Skeleton Crew is just because he really does not like the Maud Mothma stuff.
On Andor, you mean?
I'm sorry, yeah, on Andor, yeah, my
bad. That's silly, Dragon. The Mon Mothma stuff is very good. When she tricks her driver into thinking her husband's gambling, that was fucking great.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I feel like it really added to the political intrigue.
They also name drop Canto Bite in that same scene, and I love watching the Last Jedi haters squirm.
You and me definitely need to. It's only going to be it's only a couple years from now. We're definitely going to do a Last Jedi 10 years later retro.
Yeah, I love that movie.
The only thing in that movie that I will agree with people like doesn't really hold up. I don't think the humor holds up all that well.
That's fair.
Like the bits with Poe and Hux at the beginning.
I think Poe is a Avatar of the 2010s. Kind of in the same way that like Jar Jar Binks is an Avatar of the 2000s.
Oh my god.
It's just like they very much, that's the character that people wanted at that time.
Right, for sure. I mean,
And
honestly,
Neil's the character.
I'll even defend the Canto Bight stuff in The Last Jedi for the most part.
Yeah.
I like the actual location, like the real building of Canto Bight.
Mm-hmm.
The horse stuff is a little silly, but not nearly as silly as like, oh, we're just gonna defy the laws of physics and just ride horses on top of Star Destroyers now. Like,
yeah, you people bitched about the horses in the track. Enjoy horses on spaceships.
Oh god, Last Jedi is so much more palatable than Rise of Skywalker. I mean, I don't care what you fucking say about Last Jedi.
Everyone who puts it at the bottom of their list, you're crazy. You haven't watched.
They're fucking insane. I mean, honestly, that like better than Phantom Menace.
Attack of the Clones.
Here. I mean, I admire the prequels for the world building. I admire the prequels for the fact that like they like after Clone Wars, it's very fucking clear they had a whole vision in mind for that era of Star Wars, and it's really cool that George Lucas had such a singular mindset for it.
Right.
That doesn't make the movies fucking good.
Anakin might be great in Clone Wars, but
I honestly don't even think Revenge of the Sith is all that great, if I'm being totally honest with you.
It's my favorite of the prequels.
It's obviously the best of the prequels. I still don't think it's like a great movie. That was like my first midnight screening when I was a kid. So it's got a special place in my heart for that, but it's one of those things where like I just get bored trying to rewatch it, honestly. The opening set piece goes on for way too long, and that's a big thing for me with rewatching movies is if it just drags to even get to the plot, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not into like CGI bullshit fucking 30 minutes of that right at the top.
Mm-hmm.
Barrier of entry for me.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So you can tell I don't really have a lot to say about this episode, right?
Yeah, no, this is...
You get that gist?
I got it, yeah.
Okay, let's talk the supervisor. Did you call the fact that it was an AI? I don't remember.
I said it was a droid.
So you were basically right.
Yeah. It was... I called droid.
Uh-huh.
And
I think my problem with it is that I think the design is cool. I think in theory it's a cool reveal. In the context of the episode, I don't think we did enough with the reveal. Even like for the characters that were immediately involved, like I think Farah should have had a much bigger. Or do you think Farah knew?
I think she knew. Like she did not seem surprised. I really think when they said like there's things you'll learn after you graduate.
Right.
I feel like they all knew.
Okay. I feel like Fern maybe should have had a bigger reaction than she did. I don't know. At this point, she's probably desensitized.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about one of the big strengths of the show, though, and that's I truly feel like all four of the kid characters, honestly, at this point, PerGron, I really can't pick between them. I feel like the show did an excellent job of making them all stand out. Like, it took a while for KB's storyline to get going, but once she had that standalone episode, and then she had her big moments in this episode, I think she really kind of rose to prominence. Neil, of course, just being just adorable and a goober in the best way. Fern for having genuinely the best character arc. Mm-hmm. And then Wim for basically being the audience avatar, especially like the kid audience watching it.
I think Wim was perfect. He was the right amount of just annoying little shit.
Right.
And the right amount of whimsical, whimsical dude. Sorry, TikTok officially went down for me, and I've been not listening. But
are you serious? Oh my god!
It just went down for me, and it was on a Fred Rogers clip. I just got a text. Someone's like, "It's down," so I went to check, and I opened it up. It was a Fred Rogers saying goodbye clip.
Oh, dude! We are literally like this podcast is literally recording history right now.
Yup.
I hate to
TikTok.
say it, that honestly kind of gives me the chills a little bit. Like,
Yeah,
we're going to be looking back on this in like 10 years. Like, yeah, the fucking Skeleton Crew season 1 finale podcast. That's when it all went down.
TikTok went down and I watched Fred Rogers say goodbye. That's really sad.
I just don't. I'm sorry for you. I'm sorry for everyone who's obsessed with it will not affect me in the slightest.
Well, you know, it won't affect you for losing it, but it'll affect culture pretty greatly, I think.
Maybe for the better. Honestly.
Maybe. I don't know. I think it's coming back in 2 days, but that's besides the point.
Either that or like YouTube Shorts just becomes the new thing.
God,
like,
I will.
Like people actually start using YouTube Shorts.
Yeah, I deleted Facebook and Instagram just like entirely today. Like deleted my accounts, deleted the app. I am no longer in the metaverse. I will not switch over to fucking Instagram Reels. I won't do it.
I mean, my whole thing with that is that I have so little of a social media presence anyways that like switching over just sounds like a pain in the ass, and everyone that I care to talk to online is for the most part either on Facebook or I have other means of contacting you.
Mm-hmm.
So like I just obviously I'm not like politically aligned, but I don't give a shit to have a social media presence to begin with. You know what I mean?
That's fair. I no longer do.
Yeah.
Follow me on Letterboxd. That's all I got left.
No, I really, even though Letterboxd is in itself kind of like just for my own purposes, I really need to, especially like with it being a new year, I really need to fucking just get on Letterboxd. I don't know why I don't.
I was very hesitant, and now I'm obsessed.
I mean, my thing is that like that's one of the reasons I like going to the movie theater as much as I do is that it actually does like help with my attention span with movies, even movies that I'm not really that I know aren't gonna be great, right? It'll still help me like actually like pay attention to them. Like I cannot watch a mediocre movie on Netflix. I can't do it. I can't. Like I need to be zeroed in on a movie, and a movie's got to hook me quickly. Like a good example is like I watched Rebel Ridge on Netflix, right? That movie's got a fucking hook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I can't. It's so hard for me with my attention span to just sit down and watch a movie and just have it be like, okay, like, you know, I don't know. That's one of the reasons I'm hesitant about Letterboxd is that I don't watch enough movies at home, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, I know I follow people who don't review; they just rate. So
I don't think I would review either. I might list. I might.
Yeah, I think that's just what most people do. I enjoy it, but I also watch 300 movies a year. I'm going through a Lynch. I want to do a Lynch retrospective, so I'm going through all of his stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna capitalize on the man's death, unfortunately.
Oh my god.
But Skeleton Crew, we're still alive. But yeah, Neil's my precious baby boy.
Oh my god.
I'm glad nothing bad happened to him. I like that he got to use the big gun.
Yes. All right. We clearly don't have a lot to say here. There's a couple talking points. I'm not sure how I feel about Smee just being fine. Like, oh, he's carrying his head. Huh?
I mean, it's a droid.
It makes sense. I don't know, man. That actual death just emotionally gutted me so much. You know what I mean? Like,
I still think it works because like it's a droid, so he can come back from that kind of fine. Mm-hmm. But the moment he's clearly down for the count, like she clearly had to do something to boot him back up.
Right.
So I think it still counts as an emotional death, even if he does come back. Versus like a kind of in the same way that Obi-Wan's death still works, even though he comes back as a ghost.
Sure. That makes sense.
Like, it's still very sad to watch Obi-Wan die, even though he's still going to be around in spirit, pun intended.
So, I'm not going to lie. I think one of the reasons why this episode is kind of just okay for me is, like, I kind of feel like Jod, he kind of peaked in episode 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in episode 8, he's just kind of more or less just dicking around.
Yeah, I kind of needed him to do something.
Yeah.
He kind of needed, he made a lot of threats. I would have been cool with him taking a hand. He didn't need to kill anybody. I don't think that's what the show was, but I would have been okay with him like, oh,
I honestly would have been cool with him taking Neil's hand because it would have been like, no, that's my sweet baby, but he's not dead, so it's okay.
Right.
You know?
See, I think if they did it, they were going to take Wendell's hand. And then he can't analyze anymore. And he becomes destitute and homeless.
Jesus Christ.
And season 2 is Oliver Twist. All the money gets taken by the New Republic. And Wendell's the last adult remaining. And the kids are orphans.
Oh, God.
And they go to his house like Fagin.
Wow. Wow.
That's season 2.
Honestly, this podcast is gonna we could just do a whole highlight wheel out of this podcast, man. I love this shit. We are not analyzing the show at all.
Nobody's gonna watch this. This is for us.
No, honestly, that's kind of how I feel about just us doing episode by episode recaps in general with this show. Yep. At first, I was hoping that people would be into it. I was hoping that people would actually be engaged in the discussion. But even Campia, who's like a total Star Wars shill and genuinely loves this show, he just straight up there was no engage. He just straight up did not cover 2 episodes in the middle there. And came back for the finale. It's no one was really covering it. But it's good.
Yeah, it is. And people should watch it.
Just wish it stuck to landing a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, I think if we get a season 2, it'll wrap up some of the stuff that it needed to. I am worried that we're not going to. I mean, we saw what they did with the Acolyte.
Well, I mean,
that was poorly received. I haven't watched it, so I'll reserve my
literally nobody liked the Acolyte, okay?
I know a couple people that did.
Did you really? Do you really?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
I know one of my good friends said he's like, it's not great. He's like, it's not the best thing ever, but I enjoyed it overall.
Uh-huh.
I think really it was people being lukewarm on it and then just chuds. So
yeah, but I remember what I said about lukewarm, watching mediocre stuff. I can't do it.
No, that's fair. I haven't watched it either. I think I watched the first episode or 2, and that was it.
I just can't. It's the same thing with She-Hulk for me, man. I can't fucking do it. I haven't even fucking touched She-Hulk.
I haven't watched a Marvel thing since a Marvel show since Moon Knight.
What if season 3 was goddamn atrocious?
I've heard.
I literally first episode they're all in giant mechs even though they're superheroes. I'm like, why am I watching this? What the fuck? What is this? You bring back Shang-Chi for the first time since his movie and he's barely even recognizable because he's in a giant mech the whole time.
Oh no, they gave him Shang-Chi a mech?
They gave Shang-Chi a fucking mech.
Oh, that just
he's in a better episode this season where he's a cowboy. That's kind of cool. But it's not a great episode. It's just kind of a cool idea.
Did they force Aquafina in there?
You know what? I don't even know because I didn't even fucking watch I didn't watch anything past episode 3.
Aquafina in a mech is my genuine nightmare.
Oh dear.
I feel like Aquafina in a mech is how the world ends.
And you know what? I feel like that's how this show is going to end. Any final thoughts on Skeleton Crew? Because I really feel like we're running on fumes here.
No,
I don't even as much as I did enjoy this show. I don't even really feel like it's a show that you can get that much out of just discussing it episode by episode. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean overall it was a good, fun little Amblin show. Yeah. I like it quite a bit.
Well, I guess we should talk about what do you think of Jod, because they kind of they did a little bit of a John Silver thing, but not really. I mean, he's still clearly a piece of shit.
I'm really glad they didn't go full John Silver.
Yeah.
I was worried that they would. I just wish there was a little more finality with Jod. It doesn't need to be like him dying. But I would have liked to see either him kind of like get, I don't know, the supervisor's tower gets shot at and collapses and they're leaving and escaping and it's ambiguous. Did he survive? Did he die in the blast?
Right, right, right.
Or just cart him off to jail. I would have liked a little cutscene
I
of,
honestly kind of like the idea that he's just out there just because
yeah,
honestly, if there is a season 2, you gotta have him in the mix, you
yeah.
know?
I
I
just wish
feel like
there was
if they
a,
just killed him off, it would have been a little bit like, okay, like
oh,
we just
definitely. I
because
don't want him to
especially
die.
now, it's like he is going to be a big bad, you know. I mean, he is clearly a son of a bitch, you know.
Hmm. I can't wait to see him in Mandoverse, the movie,
Oh
where Dave
God.
Filoni gets his grubby little fucking hands on.
Dude,
And he
just the
goes,
existence of that movie. I mean, after Mando season 3, I have said it before, I will say it again. Genuinely one of the most god awful seasons of television I have ever seen in my life.
I can't wait for Jod Captain Silvo to interact with Jeremy Allen White in hut makeup. But he's also a baby, like it's just his head. Like it's just his head and it's like on the ground and he's like goo goo gaga. I'm a hut and Captain Silvo goes, "Hey, where's my buddy Cad Vane?" And he comes back from the dead. And then the kids go join Grogu and they all blast the shit out of him.
All right, that'll do it for us tonight, folks. See you later.